Hey, what's going on, you guys? Welcome to another episode. I know it's been a minute. I think the last time that I posted was probably like 4 days ago or something like that. But I just wanted to give you guys a couple of thoughts. I was just thinking about this yesterday, and I'm really happy that as of right now, I'm very much a centrist. I don't really align with any political beliefs right now. I don't really, I'm not a registered Republican. I'm not a registered Democrat. But here's just a couple things for you guys to think about. Conservatives embrace apathy while liberals embrace victimhood. Now, obviously, neither one of those aspects are healthy. Neither one of those aspects really help anybody. It doesn't help to just turn a blind eye to people that are hurting. It doesn't help to ignore people that are lashing out or that are believing in a certain political ideology just because of the way that they grew up. Maybe they grew up under an abusive household. Maybe their parents were overly religious, and so that's why you see a bunch of kids, going out and screaming and dyeing their hair blue or dyeing their hair purple, or they're wearing masks, whatever it is. More likely than not, those kids are coming from dysfunctional households. I don't think a single one of them came from loving parents. I don't think that a single one of them, were raised in healthy environments. And so this is just a direct result of that. But at the same time, you cannot let your background, you cannot let your upbringing define the rest of your life. That's the leftist narrative, is to constantly put people down and to remind them that they have very little to no control over their situation, and because of their mental health issues and because of their baggage, they're just not going to get very far in life, to no fault of their own, which is complete bullshit. Do not buy into that. Do not let your struggles, do not let the people that harmed you, or the people that were mean to you, or the people that didn't love you properly, to have that power over you for the rest of your life. Because we got a whole bunch of people right now, myself included, if I'm being honest, that are, in their 20s, 30s, 40s. People that go their whole life never healing, never recuperating, never getting to find their purpose, never getting to thrive, never knowing what love is, never knowing what it means to care about somebody. There's a whole bunch of people like that. It's not just Gen Z. It's people all across the board that are really struggling right now. And the one thing that we don't want to do is just completely brush that off and call these people, kick people when they're already deep down in the ditch. It doesn't help anybody. It doesn't help to perpetuate this message of, just pull yourself up by your bootstraps, or just suck it up. Especially as a man, it's really, really hard to be a man in this day and age because men have been taught over the last century that you do not show any emotion. You repress all of your emotions. You do not cry, especially if you've joined the military at one point in time. Part of me, I used to struggle with this a lot a year ago. I used to have this FOMO about never joining the military, and because I didn't join the military, that's why I'm such a pussy right now, and that's why I can't handle anything. But, I already have a lot of issues. I already have, I have mental health issues just like anybody, but, they're pretty severe. And, I can't even imagine if I had joined the military, 14, 15 years ago, when I was old enough. Who knows how I would have turned out? Who knows what would have happened to me? I honestly think that my PTSD would have probably been 10x what it is right now. And I mean that's just me being truthful. Because I get how important it is to teach men that when you're out on the battlefield, when you are confronted with danger, the last thing that you want to do is fold. The last thing that you want to do is get scared and get super anxious and to cry. You have to be detached when you're confronted by the enemy, because the enemy can smell the fear. The enemy can smell the fear 100 feet away. But at the same time, that shouldn't necessarily apply to post-military life. That shouldn't apply to jobs. It shouldn't apply to relationships that you have with people. It shouldn't apply to your relationship with your spouse or your children. That all goes completely out the window, unless somewhere along the way, somebody threatens you, or somebody threatens your girlfriend, your wife, your family. That's the only time that mentality is appropriate. But it's definitely not appropriate as a man when you're just going through the motions and you're trying to deal with your feelings and your emotions in the most productive way possible. When you're being honest with yourself, when you're going on long walks to think, when you go to therapy, when you go to the gym. It's important as a man to acknowledge your feminine side, because, like it or not, men are 80% masculine and 20% feminine. That's why the male-female dynamic works, right? Because they balance each other out. And the same works vice versa for women. Because women need that masculine side, just in case they're ever in a situation where they're alone, they don't have their boyfriend, they don't have their husband right beside them, they don't have their father, and some guy is being aggressive and they want to be forceful. That's when they'll need their masculine side the most, is when they're in situations like that. So, it's not all black and white. There's a lot of gray when it comes. What does this have to do with the two-party system or these two political ideologies? I'll tell you what it has to do with it. it's this idea that you have to go to one extreme or another, otherwise you don't have balance. You don't, you don't know. You're just confused about life, when that's not true. There's a middle ground. There's actually more gray than there is black or white. So, kind of went on a little bit of rabbit hole, but I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I hope it brought value, and if it did, share it with your friends and your family. Subscribe to me on YouTube at Collectively Fearless. Follow me on Instagram at itsmanny_eyes. And before I go, plenty of new things to come your way, so stay tuned. Hang on to your seats. Don't go anywhere, because I got some new stuff cooking up, and I think you guys are going to be happy. So anyway, guys, hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will talk to you again soon.